the air?
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
John, do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud, hammer in the air. Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome back once again to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. It's season 19. It's episode 9, and tonight's show is titled Crisis. That's right. Now, there's no movie review this week. This is very odd to me, because we always have a movie to talk about. But last weekend at the movie theaters, there was nothing that came out. It was a horrible weekend. I was actually going to try and go check out, Kevin Smith was in town, and he was doing a showing of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot here locally, and I really wanted to go, but I waited too damn long to get my tickets, and unfortunately at the end of it all, it was done. It was sold out. I couldn't go, and I was super, super bummed about it. So, I don't have that to talk about, and no new movies to talk about. But don't you worry, because we have a week's worth of entertainment news to get you caught up on. I'm also going to dabble on a couple TV shows that have ended or that are ongoing that I just want to kind of get into to kind of take place of the movie review. So, as you know, like I said, our show title tonight is Crisis. We're broadcasting live here from the Red Dragons Radio Studios here on Tuesday, December 10th. That's right, and we're back here at our home studio here in lovely Tucson, Arizona. It's been a pretty crazy week, man. Busy as always with work. And, just actually been taking care of my daughter these last couple of days. She's been sick, and that's no bueno, if you know how it is, taking care of, of a sick child. But hey, we're here to talk entertainment news, so let's get this baby going. Tonight's show is titled Crisis, and that's because we are in the middle of the CW's Arrowverse crossover. That's right, every year they do a crossover, and this year it's Crisis on Infinite Earths. And so far, Part 1 and Part 2 have aired as I'm recording this. I have not seen Part 3 yet, which airs tonight on the Flash episode. So, we started off Sunday with the Supergirl episode. Now, when we say Supergirl episode or we say Batwoman episode, it's really irrelevant because it's just Crisis Part 1, Crisis Part 2. It really has nothing much to do with that character's show. It's just the way that the crossover unfolds. So, Part 1 was Sunday night with Supergirl, and it was really, really cool. As you know, if you've been watching this season, the Monitor has been talking about this big crisis that's coming, and all of the multiverse is in danger. All these different Earths are basically being wiped out. And within the first couple minutes of the first episode, you see some pretty cool cameos that if you watch a lot of different WB, DC stuff, you're like, oh my god, like they showed that, they went there, which is pretty cool, to show you that basically it's all out there in the same universe somewhere. And then Part 1 ends with a crazy cliffhanger, which I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe they went there literally in Part 1. So I don't want to spoil it for you guys since we're in the middle of it, but I'll just say it was off to a really good start. Part 2 was last night on the Batwoman episode, and we got to really see more of the Superman, right? This is the episode that had Tom Welling come back as Clark Kent. We saw Brandon Routh reprise his Clark Kent Superman role from Superman Returns. Of course, Tyler Hoechlin is in this as Superman as well from the Supergirl universe. So it was really cool to see multiple Supermen, to see John Cryer back as Lex Luthor. It's a really, really cool setup. So part 2 was awesome. Constantine joins the party. We see a little Jonah Hex. It was very, very cool. Tonight is part 3 on the Flash episode. And this is actually going to be the last part of the crossover until next month. And this is something I don't like what they're doing this year. It's a 5-night crossover. So they did the first 3 episodes. Then we're going to take a break for like a month. And then come back with the 5th and 6th episode, or sorry, the 4th and 5th episode on Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow in January. So it's going to really suck to be in the middle of this thing and then have to wait a month to see it finish out. But I'm excited to see the Flash episode tonight. I think this is the episode where Black Lightning's going to come into play. The Black Lightning episode last night, which was not a part of the crossover, ended with him kind of going through a portal, which, as you know, if you've been watching the crossover, you know that basically somebody grabbed him, and he's going to pop up in the crossover tonight. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see Black Lightning take part in this crossover. And there's supposedly still a bunch more cameos, a lot of other stuff going on. So I'm very, very excited to see how part 3 plays out tonight. So check it out, man. If you're not watching, watch it. This is a big, big deal every year for the crossover, and I think this year's crossover is going to be the biggest one of them all. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Check it out. You can watch for free on the CW app. Also last night, I finished Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is a show on HBO about these tech geeks who come up with this program called Pied Piper. And it's a show that's been on for 5 years now, I believe, 5 or 6 years. And this was the final season. And the episode that aired Sunday night was the series finale. And it was a really good finale. I loved it. I loved the way that they shot it by kind of doing it in a documentary kind of style and then flashing back to some things. It was a very satisfying ending. I'm very sad to see the show go. One of the most consistently funny shows on television over the last several years. So if you've never watched Silicon Valley, I highly suggest you check it out. I also want to shout out Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn is an animated series that's on the DC Universe. This show just started a couple weeks ago. 2 episodes are out now to stream. It is animated. Kaylee Cuoco does the voice for Harley. My quick initial first thoughts was that it was good, not great. It's a little over the top, and it's funny coming from me because I love cussing and I love adult themes. I love all of this stuff, but for some reason it feels off in the Harley Quinn show because it's animated. Maybe, I don't know, which is weird because I love when South Park does it, but it just felt very over the top and unneeded in this show. Which, like I said, is very weird to hear me saying that of all people, but it kind of took me out of the show several times when she's cussing up a storm and they're trying to get super uber violent. I appreciate the different kind of angle they're trying to go with this cartoon, for adults, but I'll have to wait and see where the show takes us going forward. So I've only seen the 1 episode. I will continue to check it out. It's only 20-something minutes on the network, so if you have DC Universe, check that out. It is now officially streaming Harley Quinn. And lastly, I did watch a new movie over the weekend, just not in the theaters. It was actually a new VOD movie, which kind of came out of nowhere, and it has a pretty damn good cast. The movie was called Night Hunter, and it had Henry Cavill, Superman himself, my future wife, Alexandra Daddario. It had Stanley Tucci. It had Nathan Fillion, and it had Ben Kingsley. I mean, a really good cast. And I ended up watching that over the weekend, and it was actually way better than I thought it would be. It's a nice cop thriller kind of movie where this guy is abducting underage girls and, killing them, raping them, doing a lot of different things to them. And they finally catch him, but somehow his plan is still going even while he's in jail, and they're trying to figure it all out. It's nothing great. I mean, I can maybe see why it went VOD. But I mean, if you just like a good whodunit kind of cop thriller kind of movie, I definitely think you would like it. So look for the movie Night Hunter. and check that one out. I dug it, and I wish it would have got a little bit of a bigger pop than it did just kind of showing up on VOD one day. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's just some quick tidbits that I had for you guys, just kind of to get the show started this week, since I had no overall in-theater movie review. Now, of course, this weekend, Jumanji: The Next Level comes out, so I'm super stoked to check that out. I'll probably see it twice this weekend, because I think I'm going to see it with the guys, and then see it with the fam on Saturday, so we will check it out. I'm hearing great things so far. All right, let's switch gears. Let's get into our news of the week. Okay? Right after we did last week's show, the trailer dropped for the new James Bond movie. That's right, No Time to Die. The first trailer dropped, and it is fantastic. I'm not the biggest Bond fan. I do enjoy them. But this trailer, I have to admit, was phenomenal. So check out that trailer if you haven't seen it yet on our social media. It is a fantastic trailer. James Bond, No Time to Die. Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux are going to be returning to HBO for a new Watergate series. Rise of Skywalker content is coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2, the Celebration Edition. Dakota Fanning and Elle Fanning are set to star in TriStar's The Nightingale film. Thomas Jane is returning to Stephen King's sandbox for From a Buick 8. I can't believe how much stuff Stephen King has, because I swear all of these novels and different things popping up lately, I'm like, I never even heard of this. From a Buick 8? Okay. Thomas Jane, I love Thomas Jane, so very cool for him. Lock and Key, it's coming to Netflix very, very soon, and the first poster dropped for it, and I can't wait, because that means the trailer should not be far behind, based on the best-selling graphic novels. I know my boy Friggins and peeps are excited for this one, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. This was a project that was going to be on Hulu a couple years ago. Hulu passed, and then Netflix swooped in and picked it up, so I can't wait to see what they do here. Game of Thrones actor Ewan Rion has joined American Gods Season 3. Ahmed Best, who of course starred as Jar Jar Binks, Mr. Jar Jar, is going to be returning to the Star Wars universe, as he is set to host the live-action game show entitled Jedi Temple Challenge, which will be on Disney+. Speaking of Disney+, we have all the movies and TV titles coming out in December, so you can check that out and see what's coming. Vacation Friends. I'm looking forward to this. I love me a good buddy comedy, right? 20th Century Fox has announced a new movie called Vacation Friends, which will star John Cena and Lil Rel Howery. That's right, they're set to star in the new comedy film, and I am stoked. This movie does have the potential to go straight to Hulu, to be a Hulu original movie as well, so looking forward to that, because I would love that. I could watch it right away for free on Hulu. But hey, I love Lil Rel, and I love me some John Cena, so you know what? Give me a comedy, man. John's funny as hell, so I think that would be really, really cool. Let's see here. Zack Snyder once again confirming that the Snyder Cut of Justice League is real, as he posted photo evidence this time. That's right, he showed the actual reel that says the movie is 214 minutes long. That's crazy, because the theatrical movie was exactly 2 hours long. So this movie is like another hour and a half long for the director's cut. Oh man, will we ever see it? I hope so. Speaking of Riverdale crossover, Lucy Hale is set to get a visit from Veronica over on Riverdale in the new Katie Keene show. That's right, they're going to do a Katie Keene crossover, as Lucy Hale will get a visit from Veronica. So pretty cool there to see them kind of tie it together. Venom 2 has officially added Stephen Graham to the cast, and the movie might actually be rated R. So there you go there. HBO Max has greenlit a new half-hour dramedy called Generation over to series. We have the first teaser trailer for Amazon's The Boys Season 2. Oh my god, The Boys was the best show on television last year. I can't wait to see Season 2, and it was so nice to see a teaser trailer this early out, because I really don't think the show is going to debut in 2020 until the summertime, so we still have a long way to go. But thank you for giving me something new to look at, because I really, really dug this teaser trailer. Speaking of trailers, we also have the first one for The Spy Racers. That's right, Netflix's Fast and Furious animated series gets its first trailer. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids looks to be making its comeback as original director Joe Johnston is in talks to actually return and direct the reboot for Disney+. So very cool. Joe Johnston directed the original movie, and now he's in talks to come back and direct the reboot, which I just think is fantastic. Gives the man another opportunity to direct his vision with better special effects, better budgets, and Disney Plus is the perfect spot for it, so I really, really like that. Amazon dropping a new trailer for Troop Zero, which is a new original movie that they're putting together, so check that out. Oscar Isaac says he's uninterested in a Poe Dameron Disney Plus series, so it looks like a lot of the main core cast of this latest trilogy are saying no to doing a Disney Plus series. So unlike the Marvel shows, which is bringing all the people from the movies in, a lot of the Star Wars guys don't seem to be too interested. But hey, I always say once that dump truck of money comes backing up to your front porch, people change their minds. Miss Americana. Netflix has officially announced the new Taylor Swift documentary. That's right, it'll debut in early 2020. Andy McDowell has joined Steven Soderbergh's new Quibi survival series called Wireless. Nicholas Galazine has been cast as the prince in Sony's Cinderella reimagining. Wes Ball, talking about that new Planet of the Apes movie, he says it's going to be awesome and that they have a great idea for it. And if they didn't, he never would have touched it. So we still don't know if it's going to be in the same realm as the last trilogy. I'm still got my fingers crossed that that's happening. Hulu's Tigra and Dazzler has been halted as the showrunner has officially exited and they're looking for replacements right now. J.J. Abrams says that the new Star Wars Rise of Skywalker will show off new Force powers. That's going to piss a lot of people off, but hey, I'm down for new powers, man. Give it to me anytime. Kevin Costner is set to write and produce a National Parks crime drama series for ABC. Jon Favreau talks about Baby Yoda and filling in the gaps of the Star Wars timeline. So check that out to see a little bit more insight on The Mandalorian. John Boyega says he is down for more Star Wars films if Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac are involved. An ABC special celebrating Stan Lee is set to air later this month. Looking very forward to that. The second trailer for Mulan has officially dropped, so you can check that out, the Disney live-action version. Josh Gad is also involved in these talks with Joe Johnston to return for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I think he's helping write the script, and he might even star. We have the trailer for The Outsider, which is a new HBO series based on the Stephen King best-selling novel once again. Matt Reeves has announced that he's cast Peter Sarsgaard for the Batman movie. We don't know who he's playing or what he's going to be doing in it. It is a secret, but we know he is a part of the new film. Will Yun Lee is set to return for Altered Carbon Season 2. Very excited about that. I cannot wait for Season 2 of Altered Carbon to come out. If you haven't seen Altered Carbon on Netflix, what are you waiting for? Go watch this show. It is fantastic. HBO has ordered an Adam McKay Showtime Lakers drama series. That's right. Looking very forward to that. Train to Busan sequel has been planned for a 2020 release date. George Miller talking about Mad Max again, saying, yes, it's coming. Don't worry. We're going to get to it. So we'll get there when we get there. I'm very excited about this news. Reno 911. That's right. It's coming back in small bites because it's coming back to Quibi. Yes, Quibi has announced that they are going to bring the show back for a season 7. This is, of course, the mockumentary series that ran for several years on Comedy Central. I love Reno 911. The show is so damn funny, and I'm just excited to get new episodes. I've always, in the last couple years, I've actually talked about Reno coming back several times to friends and family and stuff, saying, like, man, with all these different revivals lately, Reno 911 would be a good one to get, and now Quibi is giving it to me, so I'm super excited. It says most of the cast will return, so I'm really excited about that as well, because we got to have some Lieutenant Dangle in our lives, right? So very, very excited. First look at Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn in the Christmas Chronicles 2. That's right. Christmas Chronicles was one of those Christmas movies that came out on Netflix last year and turned out to be way better than I ever expected it to be. Kurt Russell is an amazing Santa Claus, and it's cool to see Goldie Hawn in there now as Mrs. Claus. So looking forward to Christmas Chronicles 2. Disney is developing an Aladdin spinoff for Disney Plus to focus on Prince Anders. That's right. Billy Magnuson was in the Aladdin movie and played Prince Anders, and it looks like he'll be reprising his role for the spinoff. A very odd spinoff to do it on the other prince. Okay. Jersey Shore shocker, Snooki says she's retiring from the MTV franchise. She says, I don't like the person I'm being portrayed as, so she is leaving. Okay. Eddie Murphy says he couldn't be happier with Coming to America sequel, so that is awesome. I'm glad to hear very positive things coming out about Coming to America. We have the first trailer for Free Guy. This is the new Ryan Reynolds movie. Oh my god, it comes out in July 2020. This trailer is fantastic. Basically, the loose premise to this movie is that it takes place inside a video game. And Ryan Reynolds is just one of those generic kind of guys that takes place in that world, you know, that gets up and goes to work every day and works at the bank, and his day is the same every single day. But one day, he decides to fight back and become one of the good guys, and then realizes what's going on, that he's inside this video game. And it's just so funny when you watch the trailer play out, because he's just living his normal life and all this action is going on besides him, and the girl dancing in the street for no reason, because if you played Call of Duty or Fortnite, you know what this stuff is. It's a really cool premise, and I think it's going to be great. The cast is great. Ryan Reynolds says this was the most fun he's ever had making a movie. And he said, and I'm the guy that made Deadpool, so that's big for him to say. Check out this trailer if you haven't seen it. You're going to love it. Free Guy comes out July 2020. Supposedly, The Irishman is doing massive numbers over on Netflix. I have not watched it myself because it's 3.5 hours long, and I just feel like it's going to be really boring. So I have not driven myself to watch it yet, but Netflix is saying that a very huge audience has watched so far. Fast and Furious alum Sung Kang is joining Apple's Lizzie's story. I'm going to say it's Lizzie's. With Julianne Moore and Clive Owen. We have the first teaser trailer for Stargirl, which is coming to the DC Universe app and then later on the CW. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina gets a part 3 coming out on Netflix in January. Also announced at the Brazil Comic-Con over the weekend was Warner Brothers officially announced that Shazam 2 is going to happen, and I'm very, very excited about this. I'm so glad to hear that the cast is coming back, Zach is coming back, director's probably coming back, they're writing the script now. I'm so happy to have it be official. Shazam is such a good movie. My daughter loved it. We watched it multiple times in the theater. It's so much fun, and I can't wait to see a sequel set in this universe. So thank you, thank you, thank you. On top, of course, that announcement was the debut of the first trailer for Wonder Woman 1984. And it's a pretty badass trailer. The movie drops on June 5th, 2020. It's a great teaser. It doesn't show too much, but it shows a lot of action. We see Chris Pine is back as Steve Trevor, which I don't know how, and they won't really tell us, so we got to wait and see. I wish I would have saw a little bit of Cheetah. We see her in her non-Cheetah form, but I really want to see what Cheetah looks like, so I guess we're going to have to wait for the second trailer on that. But I was glad to see some visuals. The trailer's great, the music was great, and it looks awesome, so can't wait to see Wonder Woman 84 on June 5th. If you haven't seen that trailer yet, once again, check out our social media, our Twitter and our Facebook, because there was a lot of good trailers dropping this past week with, you know, the James Bond one, with Wonder Woman, with Free Guy we just talked about. So there was a lot going down. So, and we're not even done talking about all the trailers, so go check it out. The official Conjuring 3 title has been released. The movie will be called The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And it comes out in September of 2020. So there you go. We finally know what's going down with the next Conjuring. Avenue 5, we have the first trailer for that, which is a new space comedy. It will be debuting in January on HBO with Hugh Laurie, and I really dug this trailer. It looks really, really funny, so check that out. Critics' Choice Awards 2020, check that out if you want to see who's getting what. Kevin Feige talks a little bit about Marvel's The Eternals. They showed the first footage at that Brazil Comic-Con, but we did not get to see any of it, but I hear good things. We have the new, speaking of trailers, once again, the first trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've been waiting to see how this trailer was going to be, because they keep saying it takes place in the same world, but it's like a totally different cast. And I like the way the trailer played out. You know, it's this family, they get evicted, they move to this house that they inherited, but it's like this rundown, crappy house. And of course, underneath it, they find the proton packs and the outfits and all this kind of stuff. They find the car, the Ecto-1, and along with finding this stuff, there seems to be an outage of some ghost, which we haven't seen in 30 years. So it's cool to see the connection to the original movies, but it's so many years later. It's like ghosts have been gone. There's been no need for Ghostbusters, but now the stuff's been found. Paul Rudd is in this. I really dug the trailer. It's an interesting way to take the franchise, but I'm down to see where it goes. Written and directed by Jason Reitman, so check out that trailer. Jonathan Groff has joined the cast of The Matrix 4, so pretty cool there. Nickelodeon is debuting a brand new animated series called It's Pony. AMC has renewed Ride with Norman Reedus for a 5th season. We have a Witcher featurette, which introduces all the Netflix series' main characters. Golden Globes. It's that time. We're getting close to Oscar season, right? We're getting close to finding out the biggest and the best that are out there across the world. And now it all starts with the Golden Globes. So, you know what? Let's take a couple quick minutes and let's run down what we got here for the Golden Globes. Best Motion Picture Drama, 1917, The Irishman, Joker, Marriage Story, and The Two Popes. Very cool to see Joker in there, man. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger for Judy. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, Christian Bale for Ford v Ferrari, Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Dolomite Is My Name, Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Rocket Man. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Ana de Armas for Knives Out, Awkwafina for The Farewell, Cate Blanchett for Where'd You Go, Bernadette, Beanie Feldstein for Booksmart, and Emma Thompson for Late Night. Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, Daniel Craig for Knives Out, Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit, Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Taron Egerton for Rocket Man, Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name. Best Motion Picture Animated, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, The Lion King, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. I don't think The Lion King should be in there, because as much as it is animated, it was a live-action Lion King, damn it, and shouldn't be in there with the cartoons, but just my piece. Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in any Motion Picture, Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Annette Bening for The Report, Laura Dern for Marriage Story, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers, and Margot Robbie for Bombshell. Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in any Motion Picture, Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, and Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best Director, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Sam Mendes for 1917, Todd Phillips for The Joker, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm going to skip some of these other kind of, stuff. Let's see. Best Television Series Drama, Big Little Lies, The Crown, Killing Eve, The Morning Show, and Succession. Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Nicole Kidman for Big Little Lies, and Reese Witherspoon for The Morning Show. Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series, Brian Cox for Succession, Kit Harington for Game of Thrones, Rami Malek for Mr. Robot, Tobias Menzies for The Crown, Billy Porter for Pose. Best Television Series, Musical, or Comedy, Barry, Fleabag, The Kaminsky Method, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and The Politician. Best performance by an actress in a television series, musical, or comedy: Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Kristen Dunst on Becoming a God in Central Florida, Natasha Lyonne for Russian Doll, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Fleabag. Best performance by an actor in a television series, musical, or comedy: Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method, Bill Hader for Barry, Ben Platt for The Politician, Paul Rudd for Living with Yourself, and Rami Youssef for Rami. Best television, limited series, or motion picture made for television: Catch-22, Chernobyl, Fosse Vernon, The Loudest Voice, and Unbelievable. Best performance by an actress in a limited series or a motion picture made for television: Caitlin Dever for Unbelievable, Joey King for The Act, Helen Mirren for Catherine the Great, Merritt Weaver for Unbelievable, Michelle Williams for Fosse Vernon. Best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television: Christopher Abbott for Catch-22, Sacha Baron Cohen for The Spy, Russell Crowe for The Loudest Voice, Jared Harris for Chernobyl, Sam Rockwell for Fosse Verdon. Best performance by an actress in a supporting role in a limited series motion picture made for television: Patricia Arquette for The Act, Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Toni Collette for Unbelievable, Meryl Streep for Big Little Lies, and Emily Watson for Chernobyl. And lastly, best performance by an actor in a supporting role in the series, limited series, or motion picture made for television: Alan Arkin for The Kaminsky Method, Kieran Culkin for Succession, Andrew Scott for Fleabag, Stellan Skarsgård for Chernobyl, and Henry Winkler for Barry. There you go. That is the 2020 Golden Globes. Of course, there's some other categories like directing and screenplay and music and stuff like that. But those are the main ones. I kind of wanted to run it down. The Golden Globes is a big one, man, just like the Oscars. So this is kind of our first step into award season. Kevin Feige teases that the debut dates for Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk might be sooner than expected. He's teasing that these things might even drop by the end of next year. I find that very hard to believe, but hey, Kevin Feige never steers me wrong, so I will have faith, and we will see. But if that's the case, we better get some casting news ASAP. Warner Brothers says that they're exploring a Wonder Woman spinoff called Themyscira. I wouldn't doubt that, since they want to do the Trench for Aquaman. I'm so tired of these spinoffs, okay? Because we could use another Superman movie, we could use our Green Lantern movie, we could use our Flash movie. There's a lot of main characters to do. Why are we wasting time with these weird spinoffs that have no heroes? I don't understand. Not that a Themyscira movie wouldn't be kind of cool, or that the Trench won't be kind of a cool horror movie, but why? Why are we jumping so quickly into spinoffs? Give me the main roster first. That's what I gotta say. The Ranch. The final 10 episodes will drop in January over on Netflix. Playmobil. That's right. The movie came out over the weekend. No one knew that, and no one saw it. The movie bombs at the box office with a historically low opening weekend. Very, very bad. The movie had zero marketing, so they wonder how it did that bad. No one knew it was coming out. That's how. Patty Jenkins says that Wonder Woman 3 and the Amazon's spinoff are all mapped out. So they are going full blast into this stuff, man. Disenchantment Part 3 is returning to Netflix in 2020. Scott Derrickson teases that he's going back to do a horror film after he does Doctor Strange 2. So he's teasing what his next horror film might actually be. We have the latest and final trailer for Antlers, which is the new Guillermo del Toro horror movie, which looks pretty creepy, so check out that trailer. Along with the Red Band trailer for The Grudge, which dropped this morning, so pretty cool there. Got an interesting article up with Kathleen Kennedy talking about why Colin Trevorrow was he left Rise of Skywalker. Pretty interesting read there. Cavalier and Clay, a limited series, is being eyed over at Showtime for the Pulitzer Prize winning novel. And lastly, in some sad news, Roxette singer Marie Fredriksson has passed away at the age of 61. That's right, after a 17-year-long battle with cancer, finally overcame her. You know Roxette, mostly from It Must Have Been Love, But It's Over Now. You know what I mean? And they also did, like, She's Got the Look. I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, late 80s, like, you knew Roxette, man. Their songs were big, and definitely very sad to hear that news drop earlier today. So our thoughts and prayers go out there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our news. We did everything in that nice, sweet half-hour mark, man. I continue to just love when we eke out right at that mark. Let's talk release dates, right? So coming out on Blu-ray and DVD today is It Chapter 2, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Hustlers. Now, all three of those I own, and I got them weeks ago because I get things on digital. So once again, buy on digital, ladies and gentlemen, because you get it way earlier than waiting for the disc. In theaters this Friday is Jumanji: The Next Level, Richard Jewell, and Black Christmas. So very, very cool. See, and this is one of those things, I was talking to Geeky Pat about this, like last weekend, nothing came out in the theater. Then this weekend, there's 3 decently big movies. Why did no one at any of these movie studios look at the calendar and say, you know what? Let's open up a week before because nothing comes out and we can actually dominate the box office. Nah, let's wait a week and we'll put it out with a lot of competition. I don't understand the logic sometimes. You know, Richard Jewell or Black Christmas should have came out last week. If you knew Jumanji was dropping, why would you go up against it? I don't know. So like I said, I will be seeing Jumanji. I do want to see Richard Jewell. I just don't know when I'll be able to get around to that. Here's your weekend box office top 10. Coming out at number 10 is Joker with 1 mil. Number 9 is Midway with 1.9. Number 8 is Playing with Fire with 2 mil. Number 7 is 21 Bridges with 2.9. Number 6 is Dark Waters with 4.1. Number 5 is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with 5.2. Number 4 is Queen and Slim with 6.5. Number 3 is Ford v Ferrari with 6.5. Number 2 is Knives Out with 14.2. And number 1, again, is Frozen 2 with 34.7. So that'll come to an end this Friday when Jumanji drops. So there's your box office. There's your news. There's everything that's going on. Make sure you watch part 3 of the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover tonight. That's where I'm going to be. And we'll be back next week talking a little Jumanji. Wait, I got a question. Who is Jumanji? So I'm excited big time for that one. All right, guys, let me get you out of here. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in once again. My name is Don Mega. That's right, DonMega. Follow us on Twitter at Am I On The Air. Follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. Like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Am I On The Air. Give us a like there. We appreciate it. Get all the news and trailers when they drop. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. We are available on Apple Podcast. If Apple Podcast ain't your thing, don't you worry. We got you covered at Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Google Play Podcast. We're all over the interwebs. Follow us on YouTube, on Instagram. It's simply Am I On The Air. And follow me on Stardust. You're going to love Stardust. Don Mega, DonMega. I'll follow you back. And, of course, a great shout-out to our awesome affiliates at reddragonsradio.com. That's reddragonsradio.com. Follow on Twitter at reddragonsradio. Thank you so much for tuning in once again on this Tuesday, December the 10th. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Red Dragons! Red Dragons!